Hi, I'm Sam, and welcome to Silly Stories for Kids, a podcast where I make up a story just for you. One day, two little kids named Levi and Ellis were sitting at home. As they were sitting in their front yard, they were watching all the cars drive past. There were red ones and blue ones and big ones and little ones, and as they watched, all of a sudden they could hear a strange noise. "What is that?" said Levi. "I don't know," said Ellis. "But whatever it is, it's very loud." They watched and watched as, all of a sudden, from around one of the corners came something that was definitely not a car. It looked kind of like a boat, but it had a giant fan on the back. "What is that?" said Levi. "And what's driving it?" said Ellis. As the thing came around the corner, they realised that the thing in the driver's seat was actually a panda. Why is a panda driving some kind of funny vehicle?" said Alice. "I don't know," said Levi. "I think we're going to find out though." As the strange vehicle pulled up in their front yard, Alice and Levi looked very carefully. "Hey, it's me, Panda Pete," said the panda in the front seat. "Are you Levi and Ellis?" Yes, we are. How did you know?" "Well, I was coming here just to meet you. Do you like my new hovercraft?" "Hovercraft?" said Levi. "What's a hovercraft?" "Well, I'm not entirely sure. I found it out the front of my friend Benigo's house. I looked at it and I said, 'Hey, Benigo, can I borrow this?' And I'm not exactly entirely sure what he said, but it was too excited. I jumped in and I drove off as quick as I can. It's so much fun. Hey, do you want to come for a ride?" Okay, said Alice. "Sounds like fun," said Levi. "Hang on, we just need to check with our mum and dad." So they went back inside and checked, and sure enough, they were allowed to jump in the hovercraft with Panda Pete. So they climbed in. Whoa, this is kind of like bubbly on the side. "Yeah, it's got like air in the sides and this giant fan. And look what happens. Oh, you better sit down first. And seatbelts," said Panda Pete. So the kids sat down and put on their speedbelts, and then Panda Pete started to push forward some of the levers. "Wow!" said the kids as the hovercraft started taking off down the road. "This is amazing," said Levi. "Yeah," said Panda Pete. "And watch this," he said, as he went off the road and started driving over the top of someone's front yard. "Panda Pete," said Alice, "what are you doing?" "I don't know, but this thing seems to be able to fly over everything." "Well, not fly, it's kind of drive, but not really. But whatever it is, it's the best," said Panda Pete. The kids laughed. "All right," they said. "Well, let's keep going." They kept driving along, and as they went, Panda Pete saw something off in the distance. "Hey, look, out there's some water." Panda Pete, "can this thing go on water?" said Levi. I don't know, but let's find out. It kind of looks like a boat." That's not a good idea," said Alice. "Come on," said Panda Pete, as he drove the hovercraft straight over towards the water. As he got close, the kids held on as tight as they could, but it could drive on water. It drove straight on and started doing spins around on the giant lake near their house. "Wow!" said Panda Pete as the hovercraft went around and around. "Ah!" screamed Levi and Alice as the hovercraft went around and around and around. It was so fun. They realised that this was very exciting. But then something very strange happened. Out of the water popped a giant beach ball. "Where did that come from?" said Levi. Then the beach ball turned around and it had a face. "Ah!" said Alice. It turned and looked at Panda Pete. "Hey, what are you doing on our lake?"
Are you a talking beach ball?"
"Are you a talking panda?" said the beach ball.
Yes,"
said Panda Pete. Well, I'm a talking beach ball. And I said, "What are you doing on our lake?" said the beach ball.
Well, we were going for a drive in our hovercraft, and I wasn't exactly sure what kind of surfaces it could drive on, so I thought, why not try the lake? And it turns out that, yes, it can drive on the lake. Look, watch!"
Panda Pete pushed the levers again. "Hey!" said the beach ball, as Panda Pete started doing spins around and around the beach ball.
"Look at us go!" said Panda Pete.
"That looks like lots of fun. Do you want to try it on our special water course?" said the beach ball.
"Special water course?" said Panda Pete. "Yeah, that sounds like fun."
"It does sound like fun," said Levi.
"But maybe we should let Levi have a turn at driving."
"Okay," said the beach ball. I've never driven one of these before," said Levi.
"Neither had I until about 5 minutes ago," said Panda Pete.
"Really?" said Levi.
"Really? You just hold these things and you push them in different directions, and it seems to make the thing go all over the place."
Okay," said Levi.
"Have a quick practice."
So Levi took control of the levers of the hovercraft, and he pushed them forward. "Bah!" he said.
"Too fast!"
Yes, said Panda Pete. Then he pulled them backwards. The hovercraft stopped and spun around on the spot. I'm getting dizzy, said Levi.
Keep trying, said Panda Pete.
This is fun, said Ellis. Whoa, said the beach ball. Eventually, Levi started to get the hang of how to drive the hovercraft. Okay, said the beach ball. Are you ready to try our very special water course? I'm not sure, said Levi. Maybe. Yes, I'll give it a go. You can do it, Levi, said Alice. I know you can. Okay, just let me call my friends. Your friends? Said Levi.
Oh, this could get fun, said Panda Pete.
The beach ball turned down and put his face in the water, and then he started to yell. We have someone for the water course. As he yelled, all of a sudden, beach balls started to pop up everywhere, all over the lake. It was completely covered. And is that a track? Said Levi. Yes, said the beach ball. We have made a very special track for you to try and race around. Oh, that looks like fun, said Levi.
It looks like heaps of fun. You can do it, Levi. Where's the starting line?
Said Panda Pete. Over here, said the beach ball. So, Levi carefully drove the hovercraft over to the starting line, and he looked out. The track looked very windy, and he couldn't quite seem to see the end. Do you think this is okay, Panda Pete?
It's definitely okay. We're all ready. Everybody has their life jackets?
They looked, and all of a sudden, life jackets had appeared around their necks and inflated so that they were all very safe.
Okay, Levi, you can do it.
Okay, said Levi. I think I'm ready, Mr. Beach Ball. Okay, said the beach ball. Ready. 3. As he said 3, he started to flash red. What just happened? Said Levi. Oh, well, when I say 3, 2, and 1, I'll flash red each time. But when I say go, I turn green, and you can go as fast as you can. Oh, that sounds like fun, said Levi. Okay, I'm ready. Start the count again. Okay, said the beach ball. 3, he said as he flashed red. 2, red. 1, red. Go! And the beach ball flashed green. Levi pushed the levers on the hovercraft, and it started to go forward at top speed. Wow! Said Panda Pete. This is amazing, said Ellis, as Levi weaved in and out of the track. Levi, you're so good at this. How did you get so good so fast? I don't know, said Levi. It just feels so natural now. He was zooming around the corners. There was even one that almost did a complete turn. He zoomed around. Wow! They yelled as the hovercraft went right around the corner.
You're doing amazing, said Panda Pete, and we're coming up to the end.
Uh-oh, said Levi. Look! They looked in front, and there was a giant pile of beach balls, all set up into a giant jump. Uh-oh, said Levi. What do we do? They looked. We're going to crash, said Levi.
Uh-oh, said Panda Pete. I'm not sure how this thing's gonna go on a jump.
Alice looked around, and she looked very carefully. Hey, try these, she said. She pulled out the oars from the side of the hovercraft. What are we going to do with those? Said Levi. Watch this. She looked forward and she placed them in a very important position right at the front of the hovercraft. What's that going to do? Said Levi. I think it'll help us get over the first set of beach balls so that we start going up. Alice, do you want to help me drive? Really? Said Alice. Well, if I hold this one and you hold this one, we can do it together. Okay, she said. So Alice held one of the levers and Levi held the other, and they raced straight towards the giant pile of beach balls. As they got close, the special oars lifted them onto the first beach ball. It's working, said Levi, and they raced up the entire beach ball jump until they got to the top. Wow! When they were in the air, the hovercraft was almost floating. And then Alice saw something else. Hey, Panda Pete, she yelled. What's this button over here?
I don't know, said Panda Pete, but if you see a button, you should definitely press it, he said.
Okay, said Alice. She pressed the button, and out the side of the hovercraft shot a pair of wings. What? Said Levi, and a steering wheel popped out the middle as well. The levers disappeared. What do we do now? Said Levi.
I think it's Alice's turn, said Panda Pete.
Alice grabbed control of the steering wheel and held on very tightly. As she did, all the beach balls floated up into the air, into rings. "What?" she said.
"Fly through the ring," said Panda Pete.
So Alice guided the new flying hovercraft through all the rings, one by one. Each time she'd fly through a ring, all the beach balls in that ring would flash green. She'd go through another one, green. She'd go through another one, green. "What's that one down the end?" said Levi. "It seems to be flashing." "That's the finish line!" yelled out the beach ball from way below them. "We're almost there!"
"Okay," said Panda Pete. "We need to do this as a team,"
he said. So they all worked together. Alice held control of the steering wheel. Levi grabbed the oars from the front and brought them back inside the boat. Then he turned up the power on the fan at the back, and Panda Pete sat with his arms out to the side, pretending to be a bird, flapping up and down.
"I'm flying,"
he said. The kids laughed as they went through the last ring. When they did, all the beach balls started flashing in rainbows and spinning around and around and around. "Hooray!" yelled Panda Pete. "Hooray!" yelled the kids. "You've done it!" yelled the beach ball from the ground. The kids were so excited. Alice and Levi guided the hovercraft all the way back down to the ground. When they landed on the lake, all the beach balls surrounded them in one giant circle, and they started singing and cheering. "Alice, Levi, Alice, Levi."
"Panda Pete," yelled Panda Pete. "Panda Pete."
The kids laughed. "Well, you guys have made our day so much fun. We don't normally get to play with people like you," said the beach ball. "Well, you've made our day a lot of fun," said Levi.
"Yes," said Alice, "the best. It has been amazing," said Panda Pete. "But we better get going, and I better get this hovercraft back to Benigo before I get in big trouble. All right, who wants to drive?"
You can, Panda Pete," said the kids.
"Okay."
So Panda Pete took control of the levers of the hovercraft once more. He did 5 big spins on the lake before flying off in the direction of the kids' home. "Bye!" called out the beach balls.
"Bye!"
yelled Panda Pete.
"See you later!"
yelled the kids. Panda Pete weaved in and out of traffic all the way back to the kids' house, where he spun around and stopped right on the front lawn. When they pulled up out the front, the kids' parents came out to the door. The kids jumped out of the hovercraft and Panda Pete took off.
"See you later,"
he said. "Bye," called the kids. "Well," said their mum, "did you have fun? Where did you go?" "Well," said the kids, "I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you." And that is the end of the story.
This episode is being brought to you by Panda Pete's Hovercrafts, the fastest, most funnest, exciting...
Panda Pete, have you got my hovercraft?
Benigo, no, I don't have your hovercraft. I gotta get out of here. This has been me, Panda Pete.
Did that panda have my hovercraft? Anyway, we hope you have been enjoying Silly Stories for Kids. Make sure to share it with every single one of your friends. This has been me, Benigo.
And me, Sam. We'll see you soon.